Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree if you are new here, and in today's video I am finally doing a speed reviews of products that I tried in September and October and a little bit in the month of November as well. Stuff I've had for a little bit and I've gotten a chance to give it a good shot and experience it, and I am ready to give you guys my updated review. So if you guys are interested in hearing about products that I've tried recently and my review of them, then just keep on watching. Alright, first product is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. So I have the shades Fair and Fair Light. Fair Light I actually keep in my project pan now, but this is like it's very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for Superstar Youth Glow. Which I actually have right here, so I should just talk about all three at the same time, shouldn't I? But it is a little doe foot applicator, glowy kind of product. You can use it as a primer, you can use it as a liquid highlight, you can mix it in with your foundation or whatever to make it a lot more glowy. Yeah, so top two bigger dots are the e.l.f. ones, and then the bottom dot is Charlotte Tilbury. So as you can see, they are all very different shades, which I actually really appreciate because it gives me some playroom depending on where my skin tone is and everything like that. But between the two products, the e.l.f. and the Charlotte Tilbury, I definitely prefer the e.l.f. The e.l.f. one is a little bit creamier, a little bit more like, how do I put it? The e.l.f. one looks more like a nice, natural, like, oh my god, I'm so moisturized kind of glow. Whereas the Charlotte Tilbury one is definitely like, it just kind of has just like a matte finish, or not a matte, a very metallic finish, while also simultaneously being a little bit matte. So it's definitely not as creamy, and it's a lot thinner of a product, but it also is just kind of more metallic, I guess I would say. The other two feel a little bit more like they're maybe more oil based, whereas the Charlotte Tilbury one is maybe not as oil based, but it has like mica in it to create that glow. I mean, all of them probably have mica in it to create glow, but like not in the same way, you know what I mean? But all blended out, they do look quite similar. So personally, if you were interested in the Charlotte Tilbury, or you have it but you're maybe looking for some type of a dupe, I would say definitely try out the e.l.f. one. This is literally all of them mixed together on my hand, just to kind of rub it in, and that is typically the finish that it will give on your skin. My favorite way to use these products, because this is also very similar to the Auric Glow Lust, which I've had for about a year now. Year? Almost two. Jesus, right? Shit, Jesus. Okay. I've had it for almost 2 years. Really? Regardless, it came out either a year or two ago. I can't remember right now. That one I love to use as a liquid highlight or to mix in with my foundations. These ones I don't like to mix in with my foundations or to use as a highlight nearly as much. Something about that formula is, out of the three products, the Auric one is my favorite. So the way that I like to use these ones in particular, which I'm now going to put Fairlight into my project pan basket, the way that I like to use these is I will actually take a dot and put it underneath my eyes, and I will blend it out, and then I will put like just like a really thin layer, and then I will put like an under eye corrector and then my concealer, and it just makes my concealer sit really nicely, and it also just kind of adds a little bit of extra hydration and everything like that. So I do like the products. Again, I've not noticed that before. I was wondering where all those little red blobs came from. Look at the back of my Charlotte Tilbury. All the like information is just, it rubs right on off. I was wondering where all this little red stuff was all over my vanity, but now I know. Yeah, out of the three, definitely out of the two, definitely prefer e.l.f. Out of the three, I prefer the Auric. But the Auric one doesn't work as well underneath my eyes. They have all different uses. Regardless, it's a good product. I like it. Moving on. This is the Morphe Soft Focus Cream Blush Balm in the shade Notoriously Neutral. I wouldn't personally recommend this. Like, it's average at best. It's okay. I do notice that sometimes it will have an issue where it will pick up product that's underneath it as you are blending it out. So I don't love that. It's even doing it to the liquid stuff that's on my hand. So I don't love that. I've figured out ways to make it work. I kind of have to stipple it on more than anything else, and like, it's fine. I'll use it up because I have it, or at least use it until I'm really bored of it, and then I'll get rid of it. But like, I definitely wouldn't recommend it. It's not worth the money, not worth the effort, not worth any of it. Next up, I have the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. This one is in the shade Happy Soul. So this is it right here. This is also another just fine bronzer stick. It's a little bit more difficult to blend out, I will say, and I am somebody who will take my brush or my sponge and I will go onto the product and then onto my skin. I don't like to draw it directly onto my skin, and I still will have a little bit of a hard time blending it out. So you can see even just with my finger, it just does get a little bit patchy and a little bit hard to work with. Overall, I've tried better bronzer sticks from cheaper brands. It's average. Like, I purchased that for my testing top rated cream products from Sephora, and I'm convinced that it's only top rated because it's Selena Gomez's brand. Like, otherwise, if that came out from any other brand, people would try it once and then maybe talk about it once and then move on from it because it's pretty basic. This is the LYS Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush. This is in the shade Kindness. I love this. I think that this is such a beautiful cream bronzer. I love the shade. The formula is really nice. It doesn't move around anything underneath it. It's got good pigment to it, but it's got a really nice finish that just kind of melts into the skin without making you look like crazy overly dewy. It's a really nice bronzer or blush. And if I remember correctly, LYS is actually pretty affordably priced. Am I right? I don't know. Editing me will answer that question. I think that the packaging is really cute. I wish that it was slightly smaller, maybe smaller and taller, just because it takes up quite a bit of space in my like cream products drawer, but it's cute. It's got a nice little mirror. I really enjoy this. Out of the products that I tried for my like testing top rated cream products from Sephora, that one was the standout one. And then last but not least from that video is the Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer or blush stick in the shade Nectarine. Again, same thing as the Rare Beauty one. I've tried better blush sticks from like ColourPop, for example. It's fine. It's a very pretty color. This one also has the tendency to kind of move around product underneath if you're not very careful about how you apply it. But it's pretty if you get it to apply the right way. I don't know why they wasted the space on this brush because it's a soft brush, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know why you would ever use that because how do you clean it? Speaking of cream blushes from the drugstore, this is AF94, which is Halsey's spin-off brand from About Face. This is a Walmart exclusive, so AF94 is the brand. And this is their Playdate multi-use cheek and lip color. This one is in the shade Savor, which is like a nice burnt orange shade right there. It's a really pretty, just like standard cream blush stick. It's a little bit more emollient than the LYS and the Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's definitely got a little bit more glow. It's a little bit more slick. It is a little bit more sheer than those two as well, but I don't mind that. I always put powder on top of it anyway, but it's really pretty. I don't have any issues with it picking up anything underneath or getting weird on my skin or anything like that. So I actually really like this and I would highly recommend it over the About Face one, or over the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. I would recommend the AF94 one. This was something that I just like randomly picked up from Walmart one day because I saw it and it looked really pretty. This is the Lottie London Eye Foil Jesus Christ, I cannot speak today. My brain is moving faster than my mouth. The Eye Foil Metallic Eyeshadow Topper, and this one is in the shade Too Much. So it's just like a standard, you know, glitter liquid eyeshadow, right? but it's so pretty because it's like icy and almost gunmetal-y, but it also has like pink and blue and purple reflex in it. And it just looks so pretty tapped out on the lid. It doesn't get all creasy or weird or anything like that. It's just really, really pretty, really affordable liquid eyeshadow. It doesn't burn when it's drying down. It's got a really nice reflect to it. You guys get to see a cat now. Love that for you. And yeah, I would recommend it. They had a couple other shades that looked really pretty as well, so I don't need any more liquid eyeshadows, but if you're in the market, I would recommend. Next up, this was a new release that I just had to try. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Bronzer. I have the shade I'll Bet. It's absolutely demolished from my sponge and my brush. I don't know. It's pretty. It's just not the easiest to apply. It does apply better with a sponge than with a brush, just because you can really stipple it on, but it's a pretty color. There's glitter all over my hand. It's a pretty color and it applies nicely. I like how matte it is, and I don't have a ton of super matte cream bronzers or whatever. I guess it is still technically a cream bronzer. So it's nice. I like that it has like that kind of dried down to powder finish. So if that was a vibe that I was going for, you know, and it does apply relatively easily once you kind of learn how to do it. It has a little bit of a learning curve. Maybe that's because I'm more used to ColourPop's like Super Shock shadows that are like the metallic or the glitter ones that are just like super creamy and you can just like swipe it on, whereas the matte is a little bit more difficult to work with, and I feel like it does dry out a little bit quicker, but so I'm definitely like putting a lot of focus on using that. But overall, I think that it's pretty, especially for like $6. Why not, you know? The next two products I'm going to talk about in tandem, even though they're different brands and they're different products, but for me, they applied and looked very similar. So yeah. First one is the Lancome Tinty Dole Care and Glow Foundation. I have the shade 125, which is actually a perfect shade match for me. I am very impressed with my ability to shade match that online. And then I also have the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Light Illuminating Smoothing Concealer. You know how Sephora is now in Kohl's? I was at Kohl's one day with my mom and I walked past this fucking thing and I was like, we had a ton of like merchandise credit to spend and I was like, you're coming home with me. So the reason why I say that these both apply very similar or just like, they have a very similar vibe, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. So they're both very like, I don't know that sheer is necessarily the right word because they do have some coverage to them. I would call them like a solid medium coverage, but they have a lot of glow to them. And as you blend it out, some of the coverage starts to go away and the product kind of gets a little bit glowier and glowier, especially when you're blending it out with a sponge. So they're both not my favorite, I guess is the way that I would put it. Like they're both fine, but they're both not my favorite. I'm gonna put this one on this hand so you guys can see a difference, even though that means I have to blend it out with my left hand, which feels wrong. Here is the concealer right here. They both just have a lot of sheen to them, particularly the concealer has like a lot of sheen to it. And they're very thin, not sheer in coverage, but sheer in something. I don't know what that is either. I don't know how to explain it other than they just like apply very similarly and it's not in a way that I like. They're not bad and I'll use them up, but like I have tried better illuminating and like smoothing and like hydrating concealers, and I have tried better dewy higher coverage foundations, like dewy glowy foundations. It looks pretty decent on my hand, but for some reason when I blend it out on my face, it's not the vibe. So basically where I'm going with this is that both of these products are products that I feel inclined to like mix in with other things to take advantage of their glowy nature, but also maybe alter them in a way that favors how I like to wear my makeup a little bit more. Like you can see, this is still very shiny. I am so hungry. It almost has kind of like an oiliness to it, is the way that I would explain it. Next up is something that I picked up from Sephora. I am missing one, but I got the little mini Laneige sleeping mask like holiday set. So it comes with, my lid. It comes with a ton of these. They all have like 3 grams of product in them. So not a ton of product, but it's kind of nice to get to try all the different flavors and the vibes and stuff like that. I had actually never tried this product before, so I was like, what a more perfect way to try this than this. The one that I have next to my bed is the mint chocolate one, and it also comes with a little like applicator and a little sleeve to store the applicator in. So I have mint chocolate by my bed right now, and then this one right here is berry. I also have mango, gummy bear, and vanilla, classic vanilla. Cute. I'm gonna just store these. I keep dropping them. I'm just gonna store these in my backup drawer, and as I finish off one, I'll pull out another. I don't see a reason to like have all of them out and like in different places and stuff like that, so. This is the Sephora Micro Smooth Face Powder. I have shade 30 Sand, which is a smidge too deep for me, so I can't use this on my under eyes. I can only use it on the rest of my face. But that is what it looks like right there. It's fine. It's definitely, you can't even see it. It's a very average face powder. It's fine. It's very dry. It's very, very dry, and it has a tendency to look a little bit more dry on the face. So it's definitely a powder that I have to use a brush with instead of a velour puff, so I can lay it on a little bit thinner. And so that way after like my setting sprays and stuff, it'll melt it all down a little bit better. But it's fine. I'll finish it up, but I personally wouldn't repurchase it. But ever since I changed how I've been doing my makeup, I've been like just itching to try all of the like powder foundations and like setting powders and stuff like that. So that was one that was more affordable that I really wanted to try. And then this was the last thing that I got from Sephora. It's actually a Sephora, like their Beauty Finds thing. It's a holiday lip kit, and I want to say it was like $30 or something like that, and it came with 2 full-size products and then a couple little sample ones. And the first full-size one that it came with was the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution lipstick in the shade Pillow Talk, and I'm like, everybody always talks about Pillow Talk, so I should finally give it a shot. The packaging is really pretty. It's got a good weight to it. I'm torn on this. I really like this lipstick. I really like the way that it makes my lips look. I like the way that it feels, like everything about it. I do really like it. At the same time though, I also really like the color. At the same time though, I'm torn to be like, oh my god, like this is such a good lipstick, because I have drugstore lipsticks, like the Milani Color Fetish matte lipsticks, the Maybelline Ulta Matte lipsticks, that are very, very, very similar, that I would recommend that over this. Unless you're like a really big Charlotte Tilbury fan, or you have a gift card, or it's on sale or something, or even in this kit. In this kit, the kit ended up being the same price or cheaper than just this one lipstick by itself. So personally, that felt fair, you know? But yeah, I really like the lipstick. I don't know, I feel dirty, like saying like go buy it, like it's so good, you know? And then the other full-size one that it came in was the Rare Beauty like gloss bomb in the shade Nearly Neutral. First of all, I love that this is a gloss, but it has a flat side to it, so it doesn't roll around. I think that that's great. Color, outstanding. I actually really, really, really like this color. And I also really liked the way it felt on my lips. I like the way it looks on my lips. It smells average. It just kind of smells like a lipstick, but it felt good. It was hydrating. It was really nice. I enjoyed it. Again, not a product that I would go out of my way to purchase more shades or purchase like repurchase or anything like that, but I did really enjoy it. Honestly, between the 2 Rare Beauty products that I've tried, I prefer this over the bronzer stick. But, you know, again, in that lip kit, great thing. And then the rest of, I have 4 little teeny tiny baby ones, 2 of which I haven't actually tried yet, so I'm just gonna show them to you guys and then I'll try them at some point. I just haven't had a reason to try these colors, pretty much. So the first one is the Gwen Stefani brand that I don't actually know how to pronounce. Is it what? Give? Is it Give? Is that what it's called? I don't know. But this is in the shade, it's the original recipe lipstick in the shade Anaheim Shine. So just like a very blue toned red lipstick, which I don't wear crazy often. It's very cute though. I've never felt like compelled to try Gwen Stefani's brand, so I mean, it's pretty. I'll wear it at some point. And then the other one is this Pat McGrath Matte Trance lipstick. This one's in the shade Vendetta. Deep dark red shade, which I get it. It's a holiday lip kit. Reds are very popular around the holidays. And don't get me wrong, this color, fucking stunning. Look at that color. And it applies like butter. I just haven't really had a reason to wear either of those shades. So anyways, and then the other 2, I haven't worn extensively, but I have tried them on. And the first one would be this Urban Decay, which what is this packaging? Because you can't even fucking, I had to read the bottom. Or no, excuse me, I had to look at, oh, there it is. Very tiny writing on it, barely says Urban Decay. It is their matte lipstick in the shade Back Talk. I originally was gonna wear this in a video and then I tried it on and I was like, you're way more purple than you look. So, or you're way more like pinky purple than I thought you were going to be. So, I mean, it applies really nicely. It's just not a color that I tend to gravitate towards at all. Actually, you know what? I do need a shade similar to this in my Project Pan to kind of do like maybe a more blotted but like cool tone lip. So I'm gonna yeet that into there. You guys just aren't gonna, I'm filming this video after my Project Pan, so I'm not gonna talk about it in the next video, but just know I just threw it in there. And then last but not least is this NARS Afterglow Lip Shine Gloss in the shade Orgasm. Honestly, this is fucking stunning. It's like my lips, but better. It's a very, very, very pretty shade. Of course it is. It's like their quintessential shade. But it felt really nice on my lips. It's thinner, so it's not sticky, but it's not so thin that it feels like it's just gonna go away. It's got a very nice sheer color to it. It's really, really, really pretty gloss. Again, I just, like, I might all use the little tiny guy. And like, I wouldn't say no to like a free sample or like a little trial size, but like I probably wouldn't go out of my way to purchase that. Next up, I have 2 of the About Face Line Artist gel liners. I have the shade Into the Void, and then I also have So Important. These liners are, oh my god, they're fucking fantastic. So they are twist up gel liners, and what I love about them is I can put this on my upper waterline, and as long as I wait a second to blink and like let it set down, it will stay on my upper waterline and it will not transfer down to my lower lash line. So currently, actually, I have Into the Void on my upper waterline and I have So Important on my lower lash line, and they have not blended together, which I think is phenomenal. They're super, super creamy though. Like that's one of the biggest things that I actually really like about them, is not only are they effectively transfer proof, but they're also just like super creamy and easy to apply. And the cool thing about their creaminess is I can actually take, like, and I have to do it one eye at a time, but I will do like a little smoky wing, just like apply a little bit, and then just like quickly take my brush and just blend it out, and you can do like a quick, easy, just like flick black liner. I've picked up a couple new colors because I want to be able to just do like quick colored liner. Even if I put like the black one on my lower lash line, it stays the fuck put, and it stays on my waterline as well. So they're really, really long lasting once they've set. Like this, I guarantee this black one is set down now. Like I'm rubbing it and it's not going anywhere. So really, really long lasting, really creamy, easy to apply, but also just affordable, first of all. Next up is the About Face Cheek Freak. This is in the shade Cowgirl. So this is actually pretty similar to the AF94 shade. This one's just a little bit more orangey, whereas the other one's a little bit more like bronzy orange. This one's like more true orangey orange, which I think is really pretty. Out of the two, I actually prefer the AF94 formula a little bit more than this one. This one does start to dry down a little bit matte and has like a almost powder finish to it, which can make it a little bit finicky to blend out. So I don't 100% love it for that reason, but applied, like stippled out with a brush was the word I was looking for there. Jesus Christ, that was hard. Like stippled out with a sponge, or Jesus, a brush. My brain is not functioning today. It's pretty, don't get me wrong, it's pretty. It's just not like the most amazing thing in the entire world. Next up, I have the Essence 16-Hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation. I have the shade 03 Bright Beige. Hit or miss on this powder foundation. The first time I tried it, I didn't like it because it's definitely a little bit of a thicker powder. My hands are wet from just washing them, but I have found that in the first time I tried it, I also tried it with a velour puff, which definitely made a difference. But I've since been applying it with a brush, and I think that that's really nice because it does it doesn't pack as much on. It can look a little bit heavy right around here. I do like it for my under eyes applied again with a brush. I think that it's really, really nice that way. I would recommend it. I think that it's really pretty with a brush. I wouldn't go in with a sponge. I wouldn't go in with a velour puff, but with a brush, it's really nice. It's got a nice blurred finish to it, like a matte blurred finish. It does make my skin look good if you don't pack a ton on. And then next up, I have the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed Powder. I used to use the loose one forever and ever and ever ago, but I recently just wanted to try the pressed one. I do have a feeling that this has flashback on it, so you know, buyer beware. You can't really see it because it's translucent. Typically what I will do is I will just apply a little bit right here, then a little bit right here, just kind of, you know, further setting down maybe a couple of my smile lines, maybe a couple spots on my face that need to be set. I could take it or fucking leave it, to be honest with you. I'm gonna finish it up because I had it and because I spent money on it, but I won't repurchase it. It's fine at best. All right, I got two more products here. Next one is the Flower Beauty Chrome Crushed Pressed Pigment. This one is in the shade Prism. So it's got this little stopper inside of it, and then you gotta get your finger like all the way down there to the product. This has not nearly as much pigment as I thought it would. So it's like this really pretty purple shade, right? And then you pull it out and you're like, oh, that's really nice. And then it just like, it's so just like boring and doesn't have the impact that I thought that it would. It actually looks better on camera than it does on my hand. In person, it looks very sheer. The camera's picking up a nice reflect on it, but it's like, it's very basic bland, and it looks more gray than it does in the package. In the package, it looks a lot more purple. In person, it looks just very gray. It's just very average, very basic. And last but certainly not least, this is the Lottie London Got It Covered High Coverage Concealer. I have the shade Shell. This is a stunning concealer. I quite enjoy it. It has a little sponge tip on it, but what I do is I will put a blop blop and a blop blop right there on the inner corners of my eyes. I will let it sit for as long as it takes me to apply my cream bronzer and my cream blush, and then I will blend it out. And oh, it's such a beautiful concealer. I love it so much. It doesn't look cakey or thick underneath my eyes. It's really, really nice. It's a very nice concealer. I would recommend it. I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm fucking starving. Yeah, sorry my brain was all over the place for this video. I don't know why I couldn't speak today. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment down below and let me know a little mini review of a product that you have tried recently. I would love to know. Or if you've tried anything that I talked about in today's video and you felt differently about it, let me know. I would love to know. Please subscribe if you have not already. It would mean the world to me. Like this video, ring the bell, do all the things. I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day and an awesome, awesome day. Jesus. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!